ulira mange zebanga bantyo kuguro kuli maso ukutegeza tegwanga ntirigenda mu maso ulira nga byenta bakamba bageno abange nyabonga byenta bakamba bageno abange sabasalize ekinyonje gwanga mu Uganda nyabongali ulira galeno abange sabasaliza Uganda makula abange nyabongali ulira gali abange nyabongali ulira galeno abange sabasaliza ekinyonje gwanga sabasaliza Uganda makula abange sabasaliza ekinyonje gwanga mu Uganda gali ulira gali abange gali ulira gali mama sabasaliza ekinyonje gwanga mu Uganda sabasaliza Uganda bakula Twaitanga kumbali bali mitala wenyanja nyamutwa itaba kuno twaita twaitanga kumbali bali mitala wenyanja kumbali mitala wenyanja twaitanga kumbali bali mitala wenyanja kumbali netuko mwalo twaitanga kumbali bali mitala wenyanja Uganda debe twaitanga bange mitala wenyanja abagenya balunja bebitiba kumbali bali mitala wenyanja kumbali bali mitala wenyanja bali mitala wenyanja kumbali bali mitala wenyanja kumbali bali mitala wenyanja kumbali bali mitala wenyanja Uganda debe Bali mitala wenyanja
Hello? Hello, hello, hello. Hello. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon, Uganda. I want to greet all of you and warmly welcome you to this day, to this occasion that we have all looked forward to, when the nation, led by the President of the Republic of Uganda, officially launches the National Population and Housing Census 2024 activities. From today, the activities will be running until the 9th, the 10th of May 2024, when we start our enumeration. The dignitaries here present, I want to take this opportunity right now, unofficially though, because there are more worthy people who will come to officially acknowledge your presence here. But let me say that we are already joined by the Honorable Lugolobi Amos, who is the Sector Minister in charge of planning, in charge of statistics, or even in charge of UBOS. You're most welcome, Honorable Amos Lugolobi. Thank you for clapping, and when you clap, clap well. We are also joined by the Minister for the Elderly, Honorable Gidudu Mafabi, all the way from the Elgon region. You're most welcome, Honorable. Amidst us, we also have Dr. Biamugisha Albert, who is the board chairman of UBOS. Doctor, you're most welcome. Kindly stand up for the people to recognize you. We also have the ED, Dr. Chris Mukiza, the ED of UBOS, with your entire team. UBOS team, I know you are in numbers, but it doesn't hurt if you can stand up for the country to acknowledge you all, led by your ED. Thank you very much for the preparations coming up to this day. There have been changes made to plans, but as they say, all is well that ends well. Here we are today, and we are looking forward to a very successful launch by His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda. We will be joined by other ministers. We expect to be joined by Honorable Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, who has confirmed he will be here and is actually going to be the main MC. I'm only assisting him. But we will also be joined, we expect to be joined by the Minister in charge of Finance, Honorable Kasaija Matia. Amidst us, we also have an MP representing her other colleagues. We have Honorable Shatsi Musherure, MP for Maogola North in Sembabule District. Honorable, you're most welcome, my sister, and thanks for being here. We have some representatives representing the security sector. I've seen the JCOS, the Joint Chief of Staff, General Leopold Chanda, is here with us from the UPDF. General, you're most welcome. We recognize your presence. We also have Assistant Commissioner General of Prisons, Mr. Eli Muhumuza, kindly stand up to be recognized from prisons. From police, we have AIGP Charles Birungi. Charles, kindly stand up for recognition. We have the representative of UNFPA, Gift Marunga. UNFPA, kindly stand up for recognition. And we want to thank you so much for the support, generous at that you have given to this occasion, but generally to Census activities running up to when it is done and finalized. You're most welcome, Gift. Ladies and gentlemen, dignitaries here present, we are about to receive our chief guest at this function, His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda. And when he arrives, we will all stand up to welcome him, and then I will invite the technical team to play for us the anthems once His Excellency has taken up his seat at his tent. We will have the national anthem, we will have the East African anthem, then that will be followed by a prayer, and after that we will go into the brief remarks. We will keep time, and whoever I will be inviting here, I will request that you make the remarks brief, but without making the nation lose any point. This function is being broadcast live on a number of TVs and social media forums, on UBC, on NBS, and the rest. We will be ensuring that the nation knows about this very important function, a function that takes place after every 10 years. This is the 11th census that we are going into in the life of Uganda. From 1911, when we first had a census, successive ones, 6 under post-independence Uganda, and I think this is going to be the 4th under the NRM government. So it's a very important activity and exercise that we are going into, and we are asking and calling upon all Ugandans, irrespective of all our differences, whether political, religious, cultural, or otherwise, that this is an exercise that must unite the entire nation, because without census we cannot tell how to structure our development agenda. And so it is an important function that the entire nation should be participating in. I've been told that amidst us, we have been also joined by the NPA Board Chair, Professor Pamela Mbabazi. Wherever you are, kindly, Professor, stand up for recognition. And thanks for the work that you do. I'm also told we have amidst us Mr. John Mwanga, the Auditor General of Uganda. Sir, you're most welcome. We also have in the tent the entire board of UBOS. In your respective capacities, kindly stand up at an appropriate time. The chair of the board will introduce you more specifically, and that will be when His Excellency the President arrives. But for now, just stand up generally to be recognized. We have a special group of people amidst us. We have students of statistics from all over Uganda, from the different universities, students doing statistics as a course, and very important for today's occasion. Wherever you are, all the students kindly stand up, and they come from Makerere University, Chambogo University, UCU Mukono, KIU, MUBS, and other universities. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot. Continue holding fort and read your books and read them very well, so that next time when Dr. Mukiza and Dr. Byamugisha retire, you will be the ones leading Uganda into such an activity, perhaps in the next 20, 30 years and going forward. We have also been joined by Sheikh Serwada Ahmed, representing the Mufti of Uganda. Sheikh Ahmed, you're most welcome. I will be recognizing you in your various capacities as you, the protocol team alerts me. But for now, let's also clap for the crane performers who have been entertaining us since we came here. Thank you very much, crane performers, and I invite you to once again entertain us as we await shortly the arrival of His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda. You're most welcome, and thank you for being here. Thank you very much, the band from Uganda prisons. Let's give them a hand clap. Ladies and gentlemen, we have been joined by a number of dignitaries, and permit me to recognize their arrival in no particular order of protocol. We have Honorable Oboth, Minister of State Defense. Sir, you're most welcome, Honorable Oboth. You may stand up for recognition. Thank you very much, sir. We were also joined by Honorable Henry Musasizi, Minister of State Finance, General Duties. Honorable Henry Musasizi, you're most welcome. Let me also recognize Dr. Parani, a senior economist with the UNDP. You're most welcome, sir. We were also joined by Mr. Walugembe Edward, Commissioner from the Prime Minister's office. The Prime Minister's office is the one that where the National Census Council sits. Mr. Walugembe, you're most welcome. We have a representative from the Electoral Commission, Mr. Richard Babo Kamugisha. Richard, you're most welcome as well. Ladies and gentlemen, when His Excellency the President arrives, may I request the following persons or representatives of institutions to go and welcome him. We will have the Minister for Finance, Honorable Matia Kasaija. We will have Dr. Chris Bariomunsi, the Minister in charge of the Elderly, Honorable Gidudu, the Minister in charge of Planning, Honorable Lugolobi, the Executive Director of UBOS, the Chairman of UBOS Board. We will have the UNFPA. We will have Honorable Musasizi, Honorable Oboth. We will also have Honorable Musherure Shatsi representing MPs. And then we will have representatives from the forces, from the prisons, from police, and from the Uganda People's Defense Forces. Those are the persons so far. Be prepared when His Excellency the President arrives. You will be required to go and welcome him as protocol demands. You're most welcome once again, and enjoy the entertainment, and as we wait for our chief guest, the President of the Republic of Uganda. I did it. On which TVs are we? Which TVs are we right now? You are sure NTV we are on? That's just the slide.
Yes, just give them even management, everyone.
You're ready? I tell them now. Hello? 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 Thank you very much, the Prisons Band. Ladies and gentlemen, we have also been joined by Dr. Chris Bariomunsi, Minister in charge of ICT and National Guidance, Government Spokesperson. May I take this privilege to welcome the persons whose names I earlier read to go and welcome our chief guest. As they go to line up to welcome His Excellency, we are also joined by Honorable Matia Kasaija, the Minister in charge of Finance, Planning and Economic Development. May I once again invite Honorable Kasaija, Honorable Chris Bariomunsi, Honorable Gidudu, Honorable Lugolovi, the ED Yubos, the Chairman Yubos, the representative of UNFPA, Honorable Musasizi, Honorable Both, Honorable Musherure Shatsi, the representative of the UPDF, the representative of police, and the representative of Uganda Prisons, to go and welcome His Excellency to join us to perform this noble national duty when he formally launches the National Population and Housing Census 2024. As I informed you earlier, when His Excellency the President arrives, he will, of course, be formally welcomed by the persons I've just read, and then he will be led to his tent. I will request that once he has arrived, we all stand up to welcome him and remain standing until we sing the national anthem and have a prayer. Our prayer will be led by Counsel Pamela Kansime, the Director of Legal Services, UBOS, together with Sheikh Serwada Ahmed from the Muslim faith. Once again, I welcome you, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, in your different capacities, and to remind us that the function for which we are gathered here today is a very important national function when His Excellency the President launches formally the activities for Census, National Census 2024. As Crane entertainers played for us and the Prisons Band, we were also joined by Brigadier General Felix Kulaije, Defense UPDF spokesperson. You're most welcome, General Felix Kulaije. Our anthems will be led by the Prisons Band. Prisons Band, kindly get ready to lead us in the anthems. Once again, we are live on
who have suffered in lives of people, properties, nurture environment in principle of justice. Oh Allah, we worship, oh Allah, we worship and we seek help and guidance. Avail wisdom to the National Population and Housing Census Team, UBOS management, with its partners to successfully conduct such an exercise to be of a national benchmark for rational strategic planning for development of Uganda. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب إلينا مولانا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم اجعل جمعنا هذا جمعا مرحوما وتفرقنا من بعده تفرقا معصوما وصلى اللهم على محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم والحمد لله رب العالمين.
We continue in prayer. Heavenly Father, we thank you for the gift of this day and for the gift of life and for the opportunity to serve this wonderful nation. As we gather here today to officially launch the National Population and Housing Census 2024, we commit this occasion and the entire census program into your able hands. We ask for your wisdom, for your guidance and protection as we execute this work for the glory and honor of your name. In the name of the Lord we pray. Amen.
We may all be seated. Let's put our hands together to thank Pamela and Sheikh Serwada for leading us in prayer. Your Excellency, let me start by way of introducing the MCs. Our main MC for today, this afternoon, is Honorable Dr. Chris Baryomunsi, the Minister for ICT and National Guidance. He will, thank you very much, Honorable, and he will be assisted by Mr. Charles Odongtho, who is here talking. We greet you, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, we want to welcome you to this day when you officially launch the National Population and Housing Census 2024 activities, starting today and culminating in the real enumeration in May 2024. Your Excellency, this is going to be the 4th national census under your hands, but the 6th in post-independence Uganda, and we have been told that this is the 11th since Uganda started its counting nationally in 1911. Your Excellency, your coming here today is a testimony to the seriousness of the exercise that you are about to launch, and we want to ask you to join the rest of the nation in thanking the people who have put this together, the UBOS team, the Ministry of Finance, the board is here represented. We have the representatives of development partners, Your Excellency. We have amidst us also members of parliament. We have representatives of 3 different security organs, the police, the UPDF, the prisons. We have the representative, the chair of NPA, the Auditor General. We have the media that is necessary to ensure that the census is carried out through advocacy to the rest of the country. Your Excellency, we have also been joined by representatives from Electoral Commission. We have UNDP. We also have representatives from the Prime Minister's office in the person of Commissioner Mr. Walugembe Edward. We have Honorable Both Minister of State for Defense. We have Honorable Musasizi Henry, Minister of State for Finance. We also have Honorable Giovannis Renduru from Kiruhura. We have Honorable Shatsi from Sembabule. We have Mr. Joel Cox Ojuko from Equal Opportunities Commission. Honorable Kasaija Matia, the Minister in charge of Finance. We have Honorable Lugolobi Amos. We have the Chairman of the Board of UBOS, Dr. Byamugisha Albert. We have the ED of UBOS leading the entire team, Dr. Chris Mukiza. Your Excellency, we have your friends from the development partners, representative of the UNFPA, Gift Marunga. UNFPA has contributed a lot to ensuring that this function today and going forward is a success. We also have the Minister for the Elderly, Honorable Gidudu, amidst us. Your Excellency, allow me now to take this honor to welcome the Chair of the Board of the UBOS team, Dr. Albert Byamugisha, to come and make his brief remarks and also quickly introduce the other members that he has come with that I am not fit to introduce. Dr. Albert, you're most welcome.
Thank you, Master of Ceremonies, Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, Honorable Ministers present, Honorable Members of Parliament, representatives of the development partners, distinguished members of various census committees, the board, management, and staff of Uganda Bureau of Statistics, our dear census stakeholders, both in the public, civil, and public sectors, our religious and cultural leaders here with us, representatives from the various schools and universities, all invited participants and the media. I take the singular honor and pleasure on behalf of the Board of Directors and Management of the Uganda Bureau of Statistics to welcome His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, to this occasion of the national launch of the 2024 Population and Housing Census activities. Allow me to also most sincerely thank you and your cabinet for having offered me a new term as the chair of the Board of Directors at Uganda Bureau of Statistics for the next 3 years, together with other members whom I will introduce later. One of our major tasks which we must deliver with efficiency now is the Census 2024. You are all very welcome to the launch of this activity, and thank you for having found time to come amidst your tight schedules. Your Excellency, your coming particularly to grace this launch shows the value you attach to statistics and its critical importance to the national development and the aspirations of the national resistance movement, government. The Uganda Bureau of Statistics Act number 2 of June 11th, 1998 establishes the Bureau as the principal data collecting and disseminating agency responsible for coordinating, monitoring, and supervising the national statistical system. In line with this mandate, the Bureau undertakes periodic surveys, such as price surveys, where we generate consumer price index and inflation rates, the Uganda National Household Surveys, where we generate poverty estimates, the National Labor Force Surveys, where we generate unemployment rates, and the Uganda Demographic Household Surveys, amongst others. In regards to censuses, the Bureau undertakes the National Population and Housing Census, the Census of Business Establishment, the Census of Agriculture and Aquaculture, and the National Livestock Census. The Bureau collaborates with ministries, departments, and agencies to generate statistics from administrative data systems. To complement these data sources, the Bureau is exploring statistics from non-traditional data sources, such as big data, that includes e-commerce, telecom data, web crawling, social media, and geographic information systems data, which has enabled us to generate digital enumeration area maps for the upcoming censuses. And there will be a demonstration on these maps we have captured by the Executive Director, UBOS. I express my sincere appreciation to all of you who generously helped us to make this event come together to become a success, especially Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, and the Cabinet for championing this significant milestone of the 2024 census launch and approving the census activities and gazetting 9/10 May 2024 for the census night, and also approving the funds for the census activities. Thank you very much. Number 2, the census committees. The first one is the National Census Council, which is chaired by the Prime Minister of Uganda, Right Honorable Robin Nabanja, which is the topmost organ of the census. This committee consists of cabinet ministers and also has a technical subcommittee on communication, chaired by the Minister of ICT and National Guidance, Honorable Chris Badiomunsi. And there are some ministers who are members of this committee. May I request the ministers present on that committee, please, to stand up for your recognition. And other members. Ministers on the Census Council, stand up for recognition. Thank you. The National Census Steering Committee, chaired by Mr. Ramasan Gobi, the Permanent Secretary Treasury, deputized by Professor Pamela Mbabazi. If you are around, please stand up for recognition. And this comprises of permanent secretaries and representatives of development partners and autonomous institutions like the National Identification and Registration Authority, NIRA, and Electoral Commission. The third committee is the Board Census Committee, chaired by myself, and our work is to provide oversight function to the census management team. And technically, for the purpose of this census, all the census activities shall be headed by Dr. Chris Muchiza, the Executive Director for UBOS, stand for recognition. And you will be referred as the Census Commission. The first one is the Census Management Team, chaired by Mr. James Mwonga. If you are around, please stand up for recognition. Who is the Director, Methodology and Statistical Coordination Service at the Uganda Bureau of Statistics. And of course, this is the Technical Committee on Census Matters. Then the other one is Census Technical Advisory Committee, which will be chaired by Godfrey Nabongo, the Deputy Executive Director, and comprises of representatives from ministries, departments, and agencies, development partners, the media, civil society organizations, academia, and Interreligious Council for Uganda. Nabongo, are you around? Okay. Then the first one is the local, and of course the first one and the last one is the local government census committees from districts, cities, sub-counties, town councils, coordinated by the chief administrative officers and town clerks across the country. Our special thanks also go to the Minister of Finance, Planning and Economic Development, Honorable Matia Kasaija, who is here with us, and Minister of State for Planning, Honorable Amos Rugorobi, who is the immediate supervisor of Uganda Bureau of Statistics, for their valuable guidance to the board. The first appreciation goes to the dedicated top management and the staff of Uganda Bureau of Statistics for their unwavering commitment to the Bureau's mission, led by Chris Muchiza, the Executive Director. Uganda Bureau of Statistics staff, please stand up for recognition. Thank you for the work. Then the next appreciation goes to our development partners for their support in the production of data and statistics, particularly in the context of data and statistics joint program led by the United Nations Resident Coordinator Representative, Ms. Susan Ngonji Namondo, who is out of the country but represented by other development partners, and most particularly the United Nations Fund for Population Activities, represented by the country representative, Ms. Gift Muhunga. Madam Muhunga, the country representative of UNFPA, we thank you so much for the generous contribution you have made to the census activities. Your Excellency, today marks the first step on the advocacy drive to have the census exercise honored by all Ugandans through your capable leadership. At this function, we aim to increase public awareness of the Census 2024 exercise as we race to the designated census night of 9th and 10th May 2024. After today's occasion, it is our hope that each one of us will become a census ambassador and going forward, work towards the following. 1, increasing public awareness, acceptance, and cooperation about the census. 2, sensitizing the general public about the purpose of the census, the information that will be collected, and its use. 3, creating a cordial understanding between central and local government leaders, the private sector, the religious institutions, and civil society in order to realize the census deliverables. 4. Sharing specific information and issues about the census 2024 and how the different parties in the public will be required to actively participate. And finally, demystifying and resolving potential misunderstandings, misrepresentations, myths, and conflicts with regard to the Census 2024. Your Excellency, the National Population and Housing Census is one of the major programs that we at the Uganda Bureau of Statistics look forward to conducting, since it plays a critical role in guiding evidence-based planning, policy formulation, and program implementation, as well as monitoring development progress in line with national goals and objectives, and demands us to reach out to all our potential stakeholders so that together we deliver a quality and acceptable national product. As it were, our full potential cannot be realized without everyone's efforts and those of other partners with whom we share a census vision. We ought to give the census a deserving national outlook in terms of content and coverage, as well as ownership and support. Your Excellency, you have always emphasized the crucial need to leverage the advantages of science, technology, and innovation, recognizing their potential role in shaping the future of Uganda and Africa. I am pleased to inform you that the forthcoming census will mark a historic milestone as the first ever digital census in Uganda, with substantial financial support from your NRM government. Thank you very much, sir. A total of 120,000 youth and other Ugandans will be employed directly and indirectly during the census exercise. The private sector will directly benefit from the exercise. Ladies and gentlemen, Uganda joins Kenya, Rwanda, and Tanzania in the East African community out of the 8 East African countries to have participated in the 2020 census rounds. A census round refers to the period during which a census is conducted, usually within 10 years. And for example, we had the 1990 round, which covered from 1985 to 1994. Then the 2000 round, from 1995 to 2004. And the 2010 round was 2005 and 2014. And now the 2020 round is between 2015 and 2024. So I am confident that even this time around, we shall deliver a census that will be able to support and sustain Uganda's modernization drive as enshrined in our Vision 2040. Ladies and gentlemen, as I conclude, allow me to take this pleasure of formally introducing to you the members of the board of directors who will support me to provide the strategic direction of the Bureau. We have Ms. Rosette Nakavuma. She's not feeling well, and this one represents Ministry of Finance, Planning, and Economic Development as a user of statistics. We have Dr. Jacobo Oporot, representing Bank of Uganda. He's also out of the country, but Bank of Uganda is one of the major users of statistics, so they are represented on the board. Then we have Dr. Chris Ndatira Muchiza. Stand up. He's the executive director, but then again, is a member of the board. Then we have Dr. Allen Kabajeni, represents academia and comes from Makerere University School of Statistics and Population Studies. She's there with us. Then we have Dr. Rogers Mate, representing National Planning Authority, and of course, this one is a user of statistics, so represents National Planning Authority. Dr. Allen Kabajenyi is a producer of statisticians. The statisticians from universities, and especially from Makerere University, are taught by them, so they represent them on the board. Then we have Ms. Irene Birungi. This one represents the private sector. She's around with us. Birungi is a specialist in the private sector, and she represents, because they are the consumers of data, and therefore she represents the whole private sector. Then finally, we have Pamela Kansime, our board secretary, as an ex-official, the one who led us in a prayer. Kansime is secretary. So once again, on behalf of the board and management of Uganda Bureau of Statistics, let me warmly welcome you to this occasion, and we look forward to your wise counsel as we embark on delivering a successful 2024 National Population and Housing Census. Thank you very much for listening to me, for God and my country, and remember, it matters to be counted. Thank you.
Before, Your Excellency, before I invite the next speaker, allow me take this opportunity to introduce to you a special group of guests who have joined you this afternoon, the students of statistics from the different universities around Uganda, from Makerere, from Chambogo, from UCU Mukono, from KIU, from MOOBS. May you all stand up wherever you are, the students of statistics. These are the young statisticians who have come to join you, Your Excellency, to launch this program. With that done, Your Excellency, allow me now invite the representative of development partners here, Gift Marunga, representing UNFPA. You're most welcome, Gift. Come and make your remarks.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, honorable ministers in your respective capacities, honorable members of parliament, development partners, the board members of the Uganda Bureau of Statistics, UN agencies here present, students of statistics, the media, ladies and gentlemen. This afternoon, I'm representing the United Nations Resident Coordinator, Ms. Susan Ngongi Namondo, who would have loved to be here, but because of other commitments, could not manage. So I will proceed to deliver her remarks. Your Excellency, on behalf of the development partners and the United Nations system in Uganda, I'm honored and privileged to witness this important event, the launch of the 2024 Uganda National Population and Housing Census. This sixth post-independent population and housing census and the first digital census to be undertaken in Uganda is a significant milestone. This huge investment is evidence that the government values the critical role of data and statistics as we strive to achieve the Uganda Vision 2040, whose ambition is in line with the Sustainable Development Goals and the Africa Agenda 2063. Globally, every 10 years, the UN announces a round of census, as we have heard. during which each country is expected to conduct a complete enumeration of its population. The current 2020 round, which started in 2015 and ends in 2024, is nearing its conclusion. So we are delighted that Uganda will be undertaking its census in May 2024, fulfilling its obligation. The population and housing census is one of the most complex and massive undertakings for any country. It requires extensive collaboration among various stakeholders, including the government, development partners, private sector, civil society, and the general public. This collaboration is crucial to providing the technical and financial resources necessary for successful census, and also obtaining the right information from which the census results are generated. Your Excellency, it is only with adequate, timely, accurate data that we can be able to tell our development story and formulate policies that respond to the current and future development challenges, threats, and opportunities. In today's fast-paced world, with an ever-changing development context, multiple vulnerabilities, and risks to sustainable development, the demand for reliable and up-to-date data to inform decision-making at all levels can only grow stronger. For example, Uganda has a youthful, energetic, and fairly educated population that is facing a myriad of challenges, but also with the potential to exploit the many opportunities in their communities and elsewhere. To make informed investments in this young demographic, we require accurate and timely information about their demographics, their location, and their activities. So this census provides this vital data, empowering the government, development partners, and private sector players to tap into this valuable human capital resource and unlock its potential for national development. Your Excellency, I would like to commend your government for its continued prioritization of the national population and housing censuses. This is evident in the impressive track record of providing the majority of funding required for the census undertaking. For the 2024 census, the remarkable 91% funding from the government sources demonstrate your unwavering dedication to this crucial national exercise, and it also sets a positive example for other developing countries. Furthermore, I commend the government's bold embrace of the power of technology and innovation. By opting for a digital census, Uganda joins a growing trend across Africa and globally in leveraging modern technology to generate data and evidence, including through censuses, in the most efficient, accurate, and transparent manner. In the countries that recently concluded their censuses, preliminary results have been produced in less than 2 months, which is an unimaginable occasion, especially with the traditional paper-based methods. So, Your Excellency, the United Nations system and the entire development partner community are incredibly proud to walk this journey with the government of the Republic of Uganda. We have come together to offer our support and expertise, ensuring that Uganda's first digital census is conducted successfully, and we will continue to support the National Bureau of Statistics in other endeavors. As part of our commitment, 12 UN agencies in Uganda have collaborated with the Uganda Bureau of Statistics to develop a 3-year, $42 million, approximately 160 billion Ugandan shillings, joint program for data and statistics that will be launched next month. Partners are also supporting ongoing efforts to upgrade administrative data systems using cutting-edge technology to enhance data quality and utility in informing policy and planning processes. These are just a few of the many initiatives through which development partners are supporting the generation, dissemination, and use of data in Uganda. We count on the government's continued leadership in creating the enabling policy and legal frameworks that respond to today's needs and building stronger partnerships with other actors in the data ecosystems, including private sector and civil society. Your Excellency, I close by reiterating our commitment to the success of the 2024 National Population and Housing Census. We stand ready to continue providing support through the processes, ensuring that the census adheres to the highest international principles and standards. We firmly believe that the data generated by the census, coupled with our ongoing collaboration, will be instrumental in driving sustainable and inclusive growth for all Ugandans. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Gift Marunga, representing the RC of UN. Your Excellency, allow me now through you invite Dr. Chris Mukiza, the Executive Director of the UBOS, to come and give you a presentation on the census undertaking. Doctor and his team have worked tirelessly the last few weeks, especially when you, Your Excellency, confirmed today as being the day that you're ready to come and launch. You're most welcome, Dr. Mukiza.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, the rest I stand on the protocol already recognized in the interest of time. Ladies and gentlemen, we shall be making a PowerPoint presentation on the screens, but I don't have. Yes. Starting from where my chairman ended, I would like to thank government of Uganda for contributing 98% to fund the National Population Housing Census 2024. This one is the first of its kind. The previous one of 2014, government funded 75%. Adjoint partners funded 25%. So now we are becoming self-sustaining. And this shows the interest, strong interest and commitment government of Uganda has in evidence-based planning and policy management. And I want to thank you, Your Excellency, for your commitment. I always tell people that you are the biggest user of statistics in Uganda. You also contributed significantly in enriching the census questionnaire. I remember when we came to meet you with the board, you gave us strong insights on how to capture some difficult situations. And we don't take that guidance for granted. I want to assure you that we incorporated all your ideas, and I think we shall get what we want. So back to presentation. We do census to generate benchmark statistical data to inform national development planning. the census are going to undertake will help us evaluate the performance of NDP3, which will end next financial year. It will also give us baseline data for National Development Plan 4 that is now under development. It will also provide the data as baseline for result framework, so that now the implementation of the development plan will be based on the foundation of data. The one almost ending, that started 2020-21, used data which was 6 years old. We had done census in 2014, so some things had changed and we could not establish properly. But this one is timed very well. The data from census also will help us evaluate the performance of PDM, which is now a flagship program that's supposed to bring all citizens into monetary economy. So it will help us understand whether the implementation is in place or not, or we need to adjust and fine-tune its implementation. In addition, the data from census will help us in measuring development progress in regional and continental development frameworks. We have East African Community 2020, we have Africa Agenda 2063, and especially the free trade, the Africa Continental Free Trade Area that's about to start, as well as the global framework, notably Sustainable Development Goals. We are currently not reporting on all the indicators. We hope after this census, we shall be able to report on 201 indicators that are applicable to Uganda. Now, we've heard of the history of the census. This is the map, the heat map that shows us how the population has been growing. We have not indicated 1911 because we wanted to show we would have switched, but this is okay. Your Excellency, remember the census of 1958, which you participated in. That time they were only counting people. Actually, they were counting whether you are Ugandan or non-Ugandan. Then there was another quick one that was conducted in 1959, but we don't have specific records for it. We can see now, the ones in blue shows the actual population count, then the red are the projections. We use a number of variables to project. We look at the birth rates, death rates, net migration, and project. So from 2014, we expect to be 46.2 million as of now. So 2024, we shall establish exactly the number. I want to say that this time, we are working closely with United Nations systems, and we don't expect to get another heated debate when we publish the census data and the further projections. Because you remember, Excellency, last year we had a very big exchange where World Bank was using some unknown data from UN Population Division that we challenged. And I want to call upon development partners, please use official data from the National Statistics Office going forward. So this census is the 11th that Uganda is conducting, and the first paperless census. We shall not be moving with the paper questionnaire. Shall be using computer-assisted devices popularly known as tablets, that the enumerators will be using to interview the respondents. And it is our vision, our dream, that in the future, Ugandans should be able to enumerate themselves. If they learn and master all of the questions. But as of now, it is difficult because they may not, when we say a household, they may think we are talking of a family. But the definition of household is different. And we shall not have enough education programs to ensure that. But maybe I can experiment it with my ministers, cabinet ministers, MPs, and we see whether they can report proper, and the government workers. So this one we had said. This is the third census that's being conducted by Uganda Bureau of Statistics. The first one was in 2002. The second was 2014, and this one. But this one is unique because we have liberalized the census. We are no longer hiding the statistical offices to do the census alone. We have worked together with other government agencies. You've had the members who are in advisory committee. The notable one is National Identification and Registration Authority, because we know they need the data from statistics to know how many people to register and to know the age composition. We also know that the law requires Electoral Commission to use census data to demarcate constituencies. And we are closely working with the Electoral Commission also. We are also working with, together, of course, with our parent ministry and other major users of census, because we know users are the ones who determine what should be produced. The process. Your Excellency, we have 3 steps to successfully complete the census. The first one is pre-enumeration. We have done a lot of work. We've done census planning, census mapping. We are now at 86.5% of the whole country. And the mapping we are doing is completely geo-referenced. We can now know where the household that has been mapped is, instead of area mapping that we are only getting boundaries without knowing how many households are in the area, in the administrative area that we are going to enumerate. We conducted we developed the instruments. Those are the questionnaires. We have 3 questionnaires. One is the household questionnaire that will be administered to households. The other one is a community questionnaire, where we shall get the services, facilities that the communities benefit from. And this is very important, because we shall know how close or how far a given community is to a service center, like education, health, water source, clean water source, not any water, kind of loads we have near that community, and other cultural services. So we have done those questionnaires. The third is the institutional questionnaire. This one is a questionnaire that will be administered to institutions like barracks. And this one, it is the owners of barracks that will enumerate themselves. Police, prison, UPDF. And also the higher education that may be schooling that time. But we expect, Your Excellency, that the Ministry of Education will cause a holiday so that we can enumerate all of these learners at home and also participate in enumerating. Because given the devices we are using, we need some sort of high-level sophistication of training. We've also initiated procurement of ICT equipment that will help us in the digital census. These are tablets and other data processing and storage servers. We have also put in place the publicity and advocacy strategy, and we have the committee headed by Honorable Dr. Wadiomusi. So you can see we are now working as one person and so forth. The second step is the actual census enumeration. And I'll be demonstrating later what we shall be doing. We shall train, do publicity. We have finished pilot census. And what will remain is to train, to recruit enumerators, train them, and deploy also these ICT equipments. And the actual count, where we're going to be counting people and their characteristics. The characteristics include education status, health status, employment status, kind of economic activity. This one was a very big thing when we met you, Your Excellency, and we have now found how to address that. We shall look at the dwelling houses by type and facilities serving communities. And finally, we shall do data processing, quality assurance, dissemination, authorization of tablets post-census. These tablets, Your Excellency, we are procuring 120. We shall not keep them. We are leaving in each parish 3 tablets to strengthen collection of community data for PDM. So we shall not be getting now a problem. We shall also give some tablets to the Electoral Commission. We are buying 2 types. There are some which are very strong that can be used to identify voters at the voting period. So we have post-census utilization of these equipments, Your Excellency. And therefore, although the government has invested a lot of resources, money, equivalent to 137 billion, they will be used by a number of agencies. They will not be coming to ask for additional resources. The only additional resources if they become fewer. I think I've talked about these. These are the stages. We have talked about the main outputs in census enumeration. We shall have total population of the country. We shall have population distribution by sex, age, tribe, religion, and region. And we shall capture socio-economic status of the population, level of education, quality health, if it exists, employment, unemployment, economic activity, and so forth. There are so many. Total number of dwelling houses and by type, if they are grass thatched, iron sheets, tiles, is it mud and water, are they bricks, and so forth. And whether they have toilets inside, all of those we shall capture. And then the other social and economic facilities in the community. Now we want to demonstrate the digital enumeration. I hope my IT team are available. So when the enumerator gets the tablet, this one is moving very fast. You're moving very fast for some of us. Okay. Here, an enumerator, let's say, Mugisha Ivan, will log in. Then after logging in, what happens next? We move. Mugisha Ivan will be asked to enter PIN code. Then it will show him that you were allocated Nyamiyaga village. The enumeration area is number 12 in Bugunga Parish, Vitereko Sub-County, Ruhinda North County, Mitoma District, in Western Uganda. Then it will show you if you didn't complete, maybe this is a follow-up the next day, because we are going to do 10 days, to tell you completed 7 households, 8 are partially completed. Now, the enumerator will go to select press to enumerate. So you go to select press to enumerate and you view the map. Yes. Now, each tablet will have a unique enumeration area. Enumeration area is the smallest statistical unit that one enumerator can handle during that period. And it remains the same until the next census. So the intersectional surveys, intersectional, like demographic and survey, which chairman said, household survey, and others will be basing on these enumeration areas until 10 years. So we become careful in demarcating these enumeration areas, and they have a minimum of 50 households and a maximum of 120. If a village has 160 households, we divide that one into 2, because the workload cannot be, it will be unbearable if we give it to one person. So there will be 2. Or if one village has fewer than 50, we shall merge it with another to become an EA. But these are statistical units, not the administrative. We don't want the local government to start creating villages based on our statistical definitions. That is a matter of Ministry of Local Government. So he will be in Nyamiyaga, and he'll be showing the green is showing that you have already enumerated those. The red are uncovered. And this is important because even at the headquarters, somebody in the situation room will be monitoring that this enumerator has not finished all the households. And even if he leaves one, he will be asked by the supervisor to go back and complete. So this time we expect complete coverage of all households in an enumeration area. Next. This is what I have talked about. Next. And each household has a geocode, so we know where it is. Now this is the household questionnaire. There are refusals. If they refuse, they report, and then, of course, every member of the population is supposed to comply. Your Excellency, there arose that if you don't participate, if you say no, one of the risks that the chairman talked about are some cults that hide. I will say we can't be enumerated. Those ones, we shall use the force of law to make them comply. But that is the last option. That's the last. We don't want to force people to participate in we don't want to force them. We shall use persuasive method. One of it is sensitization that we have started today. That counting people does not mean that when you are counted, you die. Because I was telling them I have been counted for some years. Your Excellency, I have been counted from 58. You are still around. So I think you'll be one of our major advocates. That when they count you, you in fact live longer. Because government will provide you with the required services. But if you hide, then you will be left alone. You will be left behind. So in fact, my counter argument is that being counted makes you live longer because you will know where you are. Now we know even the location by digital. If there is a lockdown, services can be dropped, even using the drones, because we know where the people are and we shall have known their economic status. So we urge you, all Ugandans, and those non-Ugandans who will be in Uganda, to embrace the census. Now, after counting, we do other post-enumeration activities. The most important is to check the quality of the data. We do quality assurance. We undertake post-enumeration surveys to ensure that the original count was complete. Then I talked about utilization of tablets. Dissemination, we shall be disseminating the georeference database, thematic reports, paper, and other products. The census we are undertaking is a de facto enumeration, meaning you will be counted where you stayed on the census night. Some people are telling me, are these 2 days or 2 nights or what? No, it is 1 night, 9th and 10th. A night has 2 days. Your Excellency, we took your guidance. Europeans think when it becomes 12, it is now in the morning. Here we are still sleeping. So we are taking it as a night. The morning is very early in the morning, when we have woken up at 6:30. So any individual, regardless of your nationality, who will stay in Uganda on the census night of 9th and 10th May, it will be Thursday, it will be counted. Whether you leave Uganda at 6:30 on the 10th, we shall count you. We shall ask who stayed in this household on the night of 9th, 10th. If you come back to Uganda in the morning of 10th, on Friday morning, we shall not count you, because you will not have been captured at the census night. And I think I'm arguing with my experts that we should have a reference point at midnight, so that we don't have confusion. Now, if you stay in Uganda and leave, or you go to bar and you don't find any, they don't come to count you, you don't say we are not counted. Anybody able to answer the question will answer who stayed in Uganda on census night, even on 10th day. We shall do 10 today. We have estimated that we shall take 10 days to complete. Now, a numerator will be having the other map I have shown you, that will be showing him where he is and the number of households remaining. And also, the supervisor will be checking online whether they have completed. We have special areas, Your Excellency, very complicated ones. Greater Kampala Metropolitan. Many people don't stay a night in Kampala, but during the day they're in Kampala, and they have been having problems with the Kampala authority. So we want to have the questionnaire have inbuilt to those. We shall be capturing those who were in Kampala the previous day prior to census, so that we can produce for them the day population of Kampala. Diplomatic missions, of course, we count them because they are in Uganda that night. Uganda, the diplomatic missions abroad will not be counted, so it compensates. We shall count the refugee settlements. We have been counting them, but this time we want also to get their socio-economic characteristics. Before, we are just getting the head count to know how many refugees are here, but we also want to know the characteristics so that we can understand their well-being. Then the floating population. Floating population are these who are not anywhere, not in the house, in the dwelling houses. The drivers in transit. People who are in bars and discos, because the Uganda economy thrives at night. They will be counted where they stayed. So they will not say, but they never came to my home. We were counted where you were. Then the institutional population, as I said. Yes, this is what I have been talking about, the automation. The other last picture is showing you that we shall be policing what's happening in the field from the center. And we are going to develop sufficient capacity to do that. We're also going to increase the highway, the data highway, that will be transmitting the data to the center. But we also have a backup, a disaster recovery site, just in case the data gets compromised at the center, to be kept somewhere. So we shall be getting them in both places. This is what I've been talking about, the timelines. Today is the 12th. Now the hard work starts. We have been just there. Now that we have told the country it is 10th, we shall not sleep until when we deliver a successful census, and we are requesting all Ugandans to be part and parcel of this exercise. I've talked about reference night, enumeration from 10th May. Your Excellency, I want to thank you for having allowed to declare the first day of enumeration a public holiday. Which means we shall ask enumerators to work overtime to ensure that people are found at home on Friday. And we count as many people as possible. Then later on, we shall continue up to 20th. I'll talk to census outputs for interest of time. Now this is our roadmap after the census. In June 2024, that will be 1 month. We shall give the country preliminary results, knowing the population of Uganda, the population per each district, the sex distribution, and so forth. Then in September, the provisional results, which go down to the enumeration areas and can be transformed into village, parish, and this will be most important for PDM. Then the final results that when you have combined the other quality assurance, post-enumeration will be in December. So this is the record time, Your Excellency, because I've been taking over 2 to 3 years to reach the final product. But now because of the electronic devices, we have cut so many steps. Getting paper, then you call people, they do data entry, then the mistakes have been done. Those ones will be done at the field work. So by the end of next calendar year, we shall have given the country all the results and the products reports, the oral charts, the dashboards. We shall have dashboards at the sub-county and parish so that they know their people. And the chairman told you that we have the committees at our level government, even at the village. They will be running their census. But we shall be careful because we know they may add some number. They know my minister, Honorable Matia, uses population to give them allocation. So we shall be keen to understand whether they have added some population. So we shall have profiles and maps and atlases. One of the important aspects we shall get in the output is to know the life expectancy of Ugandan and other indicators. So this is the roadmap, the journey we are moving. I don't know, where are we? I think we are in the third milestone, waiting for the census and then the releasing of the results. This one, the chairman talked about it, I will not repeat. The budget, I talked about it, how we approved the cabinet memo. The structure, I've talked about them. Now, at this point, I want to take opportunity to recognize my management team that we have worked together up to this time. Can you, all of you, stand up? You both management. Your Excellency, why I'm telling them to stand up is continue standing is telling them that the hard work has begun. And they should not sleep. If we don't deliver census, I should not be hanged around with those people. So we need to be cohesive and generate census. Thank you very much. You sit. Then down, we talked about those things. These are what we have done so far. We have analyzed the two routes. We have mapped 85.6%. As I said, the 14.4% that is remaining are largely cities. We know that cities develop very fast. If we map them early, by the time of the enumeration, you'll find that other homesteads and settlements have come. So we have deliberately gone to map cities last. And Kampala will be mapped last. Because the last census, we would find the new settlements when we had not mapped them. But this time now, we want to be nearer. If there is a new one, it will be a household that would have been inserted in a new settlement. Tablets. Conclusions. These are acknowledgements. I want to thank the government of Uganda for approving the undertaking of census 2024. Better late than never. The chairman told you that there are rounds of census. We are on the last year. We digressed from 1980. We used to do, actually before that, it was 1658, 69, 1980. Then we did 91. From that time, instead of doing 2001, we did 2002. Then we did 2014. You see, we are now moving to the brink like failed states, Somalia, which doesn't do. So I think as we do this census, we start planning for census of 2030 what? That one will be a debate, but the planning starts immediately we finish census. So we are appreciating you for allocating for this financial year only 320.9 billion shillings. That will complete the remaining activities. Prior years, 2 years, we've used 11 billion for mapping and others. So of the 320, we expect maybe the government partners now that we have a deficit of 13 billion. They should stand up to be counted. And then we say we are there. But this is 98% of what we want, which is a very big improvement, Your Excellency. The government partners, they have continued the technical support, notably UNFPA for spearheading the efforts. Our gratitude goes to Ministry, Department and agencies, local governments, private sector. I want to add here that we have gone a step further and engaged the cultural institutions. We are in this together with the Uganda Kingdom, and they have pledged that they support census. They have even provided the infrastructure. They are from Watongore onwards to help us. They are helping us in mapping. We are engaging the Bunyoro Kingdom. We have signed an MOU with them, and they are developing a strategic plan. We shall work with them. Busoga has come on board, so Your Excellency, we are using all. Because we know once the cultural institutions are in and religious leaders, then we shall all move together. We want to appreciate the public for their continuous support. We have not been let down. Even during COVID, Your Excellency, we continued working, and they gave us information which helped in shaping the monetary and economic policy. And we want to call upon them to support this census going forward. Our appeal to the public is that they should be champions of the census. They should be counted during the enumeration period from 10th. They should give us usual cooperation, and they should use the census findings for evidence-based planning, decision-making, and monitoring government. Because we know if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. The corollary is you cannot manage what you can't measure. So the public, including government, should use census findings to do that management. Thank you for listening. I forgot my country.
Thank you very much, ED UBOS, Dr. Chris Mukiza, for that presentation on the census undertaking. Your Excellency, before I invite the Minister responsible for statistics, allow me recognize the presence of Honorable Persis Namuganza, State Minister Lands, who joined the rest of the colleagues to join you in this launch. Amidst us, Your Excellency, we also have Major Retired Awich Pola, who is representing the National Secretariat of the NRM and is from the Directorate of External Affairs. You're most welcome to join His Excellency on this day. Your Excellency, through you, allow me now invite Honorable Lugolobi Amos, the Minister responsible for the statistical docket, to come and talk to us and make his brief remarks. We are about to come
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, General Yoweri Tibuhaburwa Kaguta Museveni, Honorable Ministers, please allow me stand on the established protocol to save time. It is my single greatest honor to welcome you, Your Excellency, and all distinguished guests to the launch of the National Population and Housing Census 2024. Your Excellency, you are most welcome. Your Excellency, a census, as already mentioned, is a statistical operation in which all units, because we have been talking about surveys, but in a census we are talking about all units. In fact, the whole population of interest are enumerated in accordance with the UBOS Act 1998. It is only in a census that one can obtain a detailed understanding of the entire population and its characteristics at the same time. A census is the main source of demographic and socioeconomic statistics in any country. It collects information and produces indicators such as household-based data on population, on housing, on agriculture, micro and small enterprises, as well as community-based data. The census, therefore, gives us a complete picture of the nation at a given time, such as the number of people living in a specific locality and the conditions under which they live. The Census 2024 will be the sixth, as already mentioned, will be the sixth such exercise to be conducted since Uganda got independence in 1962. In particular, it will be the third to be conducted by UBOS, which was established by an Act of Parliament in 1998, and will be the first paperless census, as has already been mentioned. This, by all standards, not a mean achievement, and we should be patting ourselves on the back because we have been able to consistently derive and use scientific evidence in our policy formulation, planning, and decision-making. The technical preparations for the current massive statistical undertaking have been ongoing for the past 3 years. These included the planning stage, development of the census instruments, census data quality procedures such as the use of digital technology during data collection and processing, the census publicity and advocacy, the use of the global positioning system, the GPS, in census mapping, development of guidelines for recruitment of supervisors and enumerators across the country, design and pre-testing of census instruments, design of operational controls such as the movement of questionnaires to and from the field, and design of data processing procedures. Census data is useful in determining how to appropriately allocate scarce resources. It informs policy formulation, and findings of a census help policymakers to measure how good policy decisions are, how sensible they are, and the duration for which those decisions can be trusted. Statistics are important for planning and budgeting, and in fact, we have started the process of preparing National Development Plan 4. How can any government, therefore, address poverty issues without census data? And how can government address issues of unemployment and infrastructure development without data? The answers to these questions will all come from the census. Your Excellency, the tracking of the achievement of the third National Development Plan and Sustainable Development Goals requires statistics, and the most extensive and exquisite process for generating the statistics is through the National Population and Housing Census. The International Labour Organization, ILO, has, for instance, noted that census data on the economic characteristics of the population can be particularly useful to prepare basic tabulations of the population by their labor market situation, whether employed, unemployed, outside the labor force, etc. Or it could be activity status, student, homemaker, etc. Or it could shed light on the labor market situation of small population groups, e.g. foreign-born persons, persons with disabilities, ethnic minorities, etc. Small areas, e.g. unemployment hotspots. Small worker groups like apprentices or detailed industry and occupation groups, not often feasible with other data sources. In addition, the data from the Census 2024 will help government streamline and perfect the implementation of the parish development model to ensure that every Ugandan moves into the money economy. I would therefore like to thank you, Your Excellency, the President, as well as my fellow members of Cabinet who supported our request for funding, with which we have already done substantial work on the roadmap for the Census 2024. Government has also provided funding for the completion of the census, as Dr. Mukiza has indicated. We appeal to the media once again to always accurately report about the Census 2024 and to promote it, to increase space and airtime to census issues up to the census night already designated for 9/10th May 2024. We request you to to always quote figures in your stories because they provide policymakers with the evidence they need to fight poverty and implement government development programs. Building a safe, secure, and developed nation is not only the right thing to do, but also the smart thing to do. It's a responsibility for all of us, and the beginning point could be through use of timely, accurate, and reliable information, such as will be provided by the census. Finally, I'm requesting the media fraternity to always check information on census issues for consistency, interpret them without distorting facts, and request for clarification whenever possible. We shall have a census website, use of social media, and a toll-free line to answer all census-related issues which the media can explore for facts and updates. I also wish to thank most of you who always use figures accurately in your report. I thank you all for your attention, for God and my country.
Thank you very much, Honorable Amos Lugolobi, the Minister responsible for statistics. Your Excellency, allow me now to take this opportunity to invite my main MC, the Honorable Dr. Chris Bariomonsi, to come and make a few remarks and invite the Minister in charge of Finance, who will then invite you to address the nation.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. I also stand on the protocol already observed. I will not give a speech, just maybe a few comments as I invite the Minister of Finance. But allow me, Your Excellency, to add my voice to thank you for finding time to be here with us this afternoon. And also thank you for the support that you have provided to enable us to carry out this National Housing and Population Census. And also appreciate the honorable ministers, members of parliament, development partners, the universities, and all the distinguished colleagues who are here this afternoon. Your Excellency, like the previous speakers have said, a census is a very important undertaking. And it's an age-old event. For the Christians, if you read the Bible, there are many incidences which are quoted in the Bible where censuses were carried out, including the time when Jesus was born. There was an ongoing census. So I want to assure Ugandans that there is nothing bad about a census. And like Dr. Mukiza said, if you are counted, it means now the government will know you are there. It will plan for you. You will get better services. So contrary to the myths and misconceptions that when you are counted, you die, rather it's the other way around. That when you are counted, the government plans for you and you live longer. And therefore want to call upon Ugandans to participate in this exercise. Your Excellency, like Dr. Mukiza presented, there are two methods which we use to carry out the enumeration. There's what we call de jure and de facto. The jure method, you come and count people who usually live in an area. But in this census, we are using the de facto method where you mark one night and then you count people who spent that night in Uganda, whether they are citizens or foreigners or visitors. Whoever spends that night in Uganda will be counted. And when the matter came to cabinet, together with you as our leader, we agreed on the night of 9th leading 10th of May. And as the chairperson of the Committee on Publicity, Communication and Advocacy, we are going to mount a huge campaign in the country so that every person in Uganda, wherever he or she lives, will get to know when, but also the benefits of this census, Your Excellency. Your Excellency, from the statistics, when you came to power as our leader of NRM, the population of Uganda was projected to be 14.7 million people. Today, it is projected to be 46.2 million, meaning that under the NRM leadership, the population has more than tripled, increased by 3 times. Your Excellency, there are 3 factors which explain change in population size. One is fertility. If we give birth to children, then the numbers increase. The other is mortality. If people die, the numbers decrease. The third is mobility. People might move in, like when refugees come into Uganda, they increase the numbers, or when people move out of the country, the numbers decrease. So all of these factors are at interplay, but we also appreciate that we have a high fertility rate in Uganda, where we Ugandans are fertile, but we do not follow what is recorded in the Bible, where in the story of creation, God said, go, multiply, and fill the earth. As government, Your Excellency, our policy is that multiply, but produce by choice, not by chance. In other words, the message of government is that individuals and couples should have a manageable family size. But also important to note, Your Excellency, is that the population has continued to grow, because when you came and took over the leadership of this country, you did promote child survival programs. You invested heavily in immunization and other health care programs, and the children, the infants, the young people who used to die of preventable illnesses and other problems now survive. And that's why we have a huge segment of Ugandans being young people. So you young people, you are there with the energy, courtesy of the progressive policies and programs championed by His Excellency the President and NRM government that have ensured that Ugandans who are born alive survive and grow into adulthood, Your Excellency. There are many advantages of a census. One, we shall get statistics which will help us to plan for this country, but also the statistics which we get will help us to assess the programs and policies which the government has been championing to see whether there is impact in terms of improvement of quality of life of Ugandans. For instance, Your Excellency, the last census when it was carried out, we estimated that life expectancy had considerably improved to now 63.3 years. That's life expectancy at birth. We know that in the late 80s and early 90s, at the height of the HIV/AIDS pandemic, life expectancy at birth fell to as low as 43 years. And within a short period, because of the programs that you put in place, this increased by a phenomenal improvement to 63.3. Now, when we carry out this census, it will give us the most current estimate. But also, we've been carrying out, through UBOS, various surveys, like demographic and health surveys, which assess improvements in the quality of life. And Your Excellency, I want to report that the figures which we have show that there has been great improvement in many of the indicators. whether you speak of maternal mortality ratio, which measures the women who die as a result of pregnancy and childbirth, there has been a considerable improvement. In the last 40 years, the figure was above 700 deaths per 100,000 live births. That's how we measured it. The recent demographic and health survey has put the figure at 189, meaning that under the interim leadership, fewer women are dying compared to the years 30, 40 years ago. Infant mortality rate has dropped to 36 deaths per 1,000 live children who are born. Under 5 mortality has dropped to 52, so there is improvement. So the figures, statistics from this census will help us to validate some of these indicators that measure the quality of life. But the studies which UBOS carries out show there is great improvement in many of these indicators. Finally, Your Excellency, when you established the Ministry of ICT and National Guidance, you gave us the responsibility to lead the digital transformation agenda, and we are committed to ensuring that we digitalize all the processes. And that's why, from the reports, we are going to have the first census that is going to use digital tools. So the enumerators will not be carrying papers and files, but will just be having smart digital devices, and they will capture all the information. And that's why the analysis will take a shorter period, and then we give Ugandans the results. We shall do the same for elections and for many other exercises, so that Uganda continues to be part of the digital revolution in this country. We want to thank you, Your Excellency, and we shall definitely come to make sure that you are also counted when time comes. So it matters to be counted. And we want to thank all the partners and all of you who are involved in this exercise. With those few comments, let me take the opportunity to invite the Honorable Matia Kasaija, the Minister responsible for Finance, Planning and Economic Development, to come and give us a statement, and thereafter I invite His Excellency the President to address the nation and officially launch the exercise that will enable all of us in this country to be counted come May 2024. Over to you, Honorable Minister of Finance.
Your Excellency, the President of the Republic of Uganda, fellow ministers, and the members of Parliament who are present here, Your Excellency, the Resident Representative, United Nations Development Program, Your Excellency, the Resident Representative, United Nations Fund for Population Activities, members of the Diplomatic Corps, the board chairperson and your members, the Executive Director, Census 2024 Commissioner, Uganda Bureau of Statistics, distinguished invited guests, ladies and gentlemen. Good afternoon. When you are charged with planning function on behalf of all Ugandans, it's indeed gratifying to be presented with evidence of the outcomes of your interventions. However, it is even more so when you are given more facts to support the march towards achieving the Sustainable Development Goals. It is therefore my pleasure to welcome all of you here at the official launch of the National Population and Housing 2024. I would like to specifically express my appreciation and that of the government to the previous development partners, notably United Nations Fund for Population Activities, United Nations International Children Emergency Fund, United Nations Development Program, and World Bank that have supported us in implementing statistical activities and are also involved in this census. I wish to thank the local government and individual households that have cooperated initially with the mapping and household listing and eventually with the pilot census. Finally, I commend Uganda Bureau of Statistics management and staff for they have always lived to our expectations. Congratulations, UBOS. Most recently, Uganda Bureau of Statistics published the Uganda Demographic Health Survey findings that government will utilize to address challenges in the health sector. Thank you for successfully conducting previous censuses and surveys in the timely manner, and I'm sure you will do the same next year. Your Excellency, now it is my wish to invite you to address the audience, and thereafter you launch the Census 2024.
The Honorable Ministers, Honorable Members of Parliament, the staff of UBOS, members of the Diplomat Corps, and all the invited guests. First of all, I want to thank the members of UBOS, the staff, for the good work they have done. Congratulations. Secondly, I would like to bring you back to Africa from Europe, where you stay most of the time, even intellectually. The census will be on the night of the 9th. Is that correct or not? Ekiro kya mwenda. People from Ntungamo cannot follow you if you say night of 9th and 10th. They think they will take you to Rutabika for check-up. Because there is no night of 9th and 10th. Ekiro kyebiro by'omwezi mwenda. Is that what you are saying, Muchiza, or what? Come and clarify so that I tell my people. Where is Muchiza? Come on the microphone there. Because you confuse our people with your Europeanism.
Your Excellency, you seem to be right. You are challenging us. Since the night begins on 9th, we can take that.
It's not the beginning. It is the night of the 9th. So
we shall go from now going forward. Refer to the night of 9th.
The people you are going to count are Ugandans who are like me. There's no way you can say that there is no here in Uganda. There is no night of 9th and 10th. It's a physical impossibility. It is the night of the 9th. And when you say, you say midnight is morning, you are just mad. This is Omuitumbi. Omuitumbi in Runyankwere, this is Omuitumbi. There is no way you can say this is morning. You must be mad. The Europeans say that because they belong to a different part of the globe. Sit down, sit down. I hope you clear that confusion, please.
Yes, we shall.
The Europeans say that because they belong to a different part of the globe. In 1985, when we were fighting in Ruero, my family had lived in Sweden from 1983. So I left the bush here on the 12th of March, 1985, went through different ways, through the lake, up to Kenya, and arrived in Sweden on the 29th of March, 1985. And you could see in Sweden, it would be what you call 10 o'clock at night here. What they call 10 o'clock, but what we call Shahina, Sawanya, Zeichiro. They will still be light. During summer, they will still be light. And around 4 in the morning, what they call 4 in the morning, Shaikun Zeichiro, light comes. They belong to a different part of the globe. But here, our days are clear, our nights are clear, so please clarify. Therefore, abantu baffe okubala kw'abantu n'ebintu genda kubeera ekiro ennaku z'omwezi omwenda omwezi gw'okutaano. Hesabu ya watu itakuwa usiku wa tarehe 9 mwezi wa Mei mwaka ujao. So please clarify this, because you really confuse our people. Get tired ibyamu ibyo. Yes, this is how those people do things. But you are here, you are not there. You are here. Uliwa no mu Uganda. So we are talking about the night. Mutandika sawa mukaga oba ogwekiro oba sawa emu. Sawa emu abasinga obungi babeera mu mabaala. Ndowooza mukaga zenungi ezo. So please, let's clear that in the media. Clarify it. Because the people you are talking to are really your people here. If you say, omukasheshe, omulunyankore, omukasheshe, kebero byokwezi 10 okwa katano. The Munyankore will know you are talking about 7 o'clock. Because that is the morning. The morning starts at 7 o'clock. Even what you call 6 o'clock, Munyankore don't call it morning. That's Nyekiro. Yes. Nyekiro, Echiro, it ends Shahim. Omsheke wajuguta. Omsheke. This is the problem. You stop being other people. Be yourselves. Nze ndi wa wano. Ndi wa wano nedira nte mwa abazungu mugende mu maaso. So we are talking about the census will be on the night of the 9th. So Mchiza wants a holiday when now? Akashesheka Kukubara? Or the day before? When you wanted the... Help our people to understand.
For 10th, the holiday will be for 10th.
Akashesheka, the morning of the whole of the 10th. Okubara, counting will start in Nyekiro, but because we want people not to run away, stay home the whole day following the night of counting. That's how we are going to communicate it to our people. And I really feel embarrassed. When I come to these meetings, I see Africans trying to be other people. I feel embarrassed. Even the other people really want to know who you are. They want to know who you are. Because for them, they know themselves. So when they find out you are different, actually you are more interesting. The Europeans and those fellows like to know what other people are. Now, I don't want to talk too many things because the issue is clear. It is okubara abantu n'ebintu. Basi si kyekyo kati okwogera mwogera ki? Now, the counting, the aim here seems to be how many people, where are they, how well off, how are they, and what do they own. Is that correct? Ebibuuzo bina bali bameka babeera wa embeera yaabwe eri etya ate balina by'obugaga bya kika ki? Do we add the bugaga or that one is out? Because our people need to know simple language, not Luzungu. Rugorobi. Jango tuyambe ebibuuzo byange bina. Abantu bali bameka babeera wa embeera yaabwe eri etya ate eby'obugaga byabwe simanyi oba ekyo weekiri oba tekiriimu. My 4 questions, does it answer the 4 or only 3? How many, where, how are they, and what do they own? Is it added or not?
Your Excellency, it is true. They are there. Yes, sir.
It's on your wedding. 4 questions. Muchiza, onocha yongerako? There are 4. Bilibina byoka.
Your Excellency will also ask where they get services from, like health services, education.
Okay.
And what
Ekyo nakyo mukyongereko. Ekyokutaano obuweereza busangibwa wa? Si byebyo bannange? mutabula obwongo bw'abantu baffe. Omuntu neebuuza nti bano bakola ki? Ekiro mukifudde emisana ng'omwitumbi n'omukasheeshe. How can that be? Omu Luganda midnight bagiyita batya mu Luganda? Abaganda wano bakyaliwo banange.
Your Excellency, Mutumbi.
Mutumbi like Runyankore. The same, Umwitumbi. How can you say Tumbi rifuse macha? Kumacha, morning, night of 9th, morning of 10th. Morning yetia, Tumbi morning. Banana. Really. So the questions are 5 now. How many? Where? How are they? What Williams was saying about the maternal mortality or those life expectancy. How are they? What do they own? And where are the services? How close to them are the services? These are the questions which will be answered. Nolwekyo tubegayidde mwenna abana Uganda. No, but before that, why do we count people? Okubala abantu. It is in order to plan for they have answered it well, that one. Dr. Walimusi, Dr. Mkiza, they have answered it well. Honorable Gorobi, they have answered it very well. Kasenja, they have said these questions are very crucial so that the government can plan for you better. Because you can't plan properly for people you don't know. For instance, if you take the people of Kampala, the rough figures we have, because you remember we have launched PDM. PDM, I am the one who guided the cabinet people that let's take 100 million shillings each year to each parish. Now, the parishes in Uganda, they say they're about 10,000. I knew that this was just the beginning. These parishes don't have the same population. In a parish like my parishes in Ruero, in Kaumu. In Kaumu, I asked the people there, Kaumu is on the way to Semuto, where we were fighting. I think our parish there, Mawale, has like 1,200 homesteads. But if you come to Kampala, a parish would have many more homesteads and many more people. So therefore, even without clear picture of the numbers, we are already saying no, for Kampala, we need maybe not operate from the parish because the numbers are too big there. Maybe we'll go to the village. We are beginning to say that. And we are saying this even without very clear figures. So when these figures come in, it will help us to plan properly for different areas, because it will give us the answer. So the purpose of the counting is mainly planning. Otherwise, I'm happy with the population of Uganda, which is coming up. Africa used to be underpopulated. Remember that Africa is about 12 times the size of India. You can fit India into Africa 12 times. India is 1 million square miles. Africa is 12 million square miles. However, until recently, India had a bigger population than Africa. Until very recently. It's only recently that the population of Africa has overtaken the population of India. And by 2025, population of Africa is estimated to be 2.5 billion. It will be the biggest in the world. So this means that all this time, for 4.5 million years, since we people, we came out of the monkeys and became what we call Homo sapiens sapien, the wise man, the wise man. Africa has been underpopulated. Originally, all human population was only in Africa. It was only 100,000 years ago that the first groups left Africa for the other continents. Those fellows you see now, the Europeans, the Chinese, all those fellows, Indians, those are all former Africans. They were Africans, but they lost their Africanness when they went away. But the population which remained in Africa remained smaller than the out of Africa population. Why? Because Africa is good for man, but also good for his enemies. Mosquitoes, tsetse flies, microbes, what have you, Ebola, what? So, to see that the population is now growing is a mark of the success of the post-independence governments of Africa. Even the ones who are doing very little, they have done something small. And here in Uganda, it's a dramatic example because the population was, as Dr. Horimu said, was only 14 million, 1986. It's now estimated to be 46 million. It has gone up almost 4 times. Why? People are not dying as they used to die, the young people, and the ones who live longer. So therefore, let's get the census so that it gives us, it answers all these questions. How are they? Where are they? What will they own? Then we shall be able to know how to help them better. But I got worried because you are master of ceremony, Odong To. Now, the good thing is that you don't know our languages in Uganda. You're not like me who knows all these languages. Now, Odong To means dying in Acholi, so Odong To. Come and tell them your name. What does your name mean? And if it means what I suspect, are you not causing us a big problem? What does it mean?
Your Excellency, the literal meaning is that when you say Odong means remaining, To means death. That's the direct meaning. But Your Excellency, the real African meaning of that name actually is about because it is my dad's name, and that the first 3 kids in front of him had all died. And then an auntie visits and then says, even this one may not survive. Odong Tho. But he lived up to now, he's going to make 80 in February.
Oh, so now, okay, now we can put a positive interpretation.
Yes, Your Excellency.
That Odong Tho is actually a resistance fighter who resisted dying.
Yes, Your Excellency.
Very good, Katugenderao. It is now my pleasure to do what?
Your Excellency, first of all, let's give a big round of applause to the President for simplifying the message on the census. We are now going to do the launch, Your Excellency, and we are going digital.
So I now threaten to launch the census.
May I invite the honorable ministers present and the members of parliament, the country rep for UNFPA, the chair and ED UBOS, General Chanda for UPDF, AIGP Charles Birunji for police, and the Afande Eri Muhumuza to join the president as he does the official launch of the Census 2024. There is a box provided. He's going to press it, and the rest of you just watch the screen. The census logo will appear, the census roadmap, as well as the official headed paper for Census 2024. And then thereafter, we shall provide the paper where he will put his signature, and then the census will have been officially launched. Your Excellency, we shall request after that, you take a group photograph with the team which has joined you, and also the board of UBOS. We'll take a photo with you, and then we go into the anthems, Your Excellency. Honorable, potential Honorable Dongoso will be taking us through what is happening as I join the team with the President.
May I invite Honorable Bariomunsi to also join His Excellency. Your Excellency, this is a digital launch, but for 1 minute, Your Excellency, the instruction the digital experts gave is that there is a census journey of 10 years that is going to be played before you can press. Before, Your Excellency, before you press, we are going to run a 1 minute presentation of the census on the screen. Yes, that 1 minute rundown. Let's all fix our eyes on the screen. That was the last census. And then we will have a countdown from 10. 9. Your Excellency, at 1, that is when you will press. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. That on the screen is now the official Census 2024 logo and the official headed paper. After Your Excellency, we are now going to have a group picture in memory of this day. Can we get the marker, the protocol team, the marker for His Excellency to sign? His Excellency is signing the roadmap and the census headed paper. And then photo opportunity, a photo opportunity with the ministers and the dignitaries who welcomed him earlier. May I request Muwonge James to go and join that team. Muwonge James, Director Muwonge James, kindly join. And then may I request all the board members of UBOS. All the board members of UBOS kindly join in the picture. The board members of UBOS. The ex-com team of UBOS, you may join the picture, the ex-com team. Ex-com team kindly, and that will be the last. The ex-com team join and have can you rush, because we are now dealing with time. That's the end of it. We need to release His Excellency. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Thank you very much, UBOS. Thank you, the ministers. Thank you very much. The board team, led by your chairman, Dr. Beamugisha Albert. Thanks to all of you. And now, from now on, the census-headed paper will be used by all agencies for official communication. Can we take up can we get back to our seats and stand up for the anthems in reverse order? 1-1 stanza. Thank you very much, Your Excellency. Now the process has begun. At an appropriate time, like the ED and the chair said, we will expect you to also be a census champion and to spread the word of census to all of us. It's now time to start the advocacy and to clear the myths and spread the correct message about census. Thank you all very much, and God bless you all. As His Excellency departs, administrative announcement. We have tea and snacks at the tent at the back. Kindly don't go without taking it. It is compulsory. The tea and snacks taking is compulsory. And there is also moving around evaluation forms for you to fill. Please ensure that you fill them as you take the tea and snacks. Thank you all very much, and God bless you all. Thank you.